All right, let's talk. Today, we're going to completely flip the script on how you see your trading journal. Seriously, forget about it being this tedious chore, just logging numbers. We're going to reframe it into what it really is, your most powerful tool for self-mastery. So let's crack that thing open and see what's actually hiding inside.
Just let that sink in for a second. We spend all this time, all this energy, analyzing the market, right? But what if the most valuable data isn't out there on the charts, but it's sitting right here, inside the person clicking the mouse? What if your trade history is actually a little biography of you?
Okay, so first things first, we have to start by just completely dismantling a huge myth. The way most traders see their journal, it's just so limited, and honestly, it's holding you back.
Am I right? It's basically a spreadsheet. A place to log your entry, your exit, and the big one, did you make or lose money? Now, that's functional, sure, but it's maybe, 10% of what a journal can actually do. It's like owning a Lamborghini and only ever driving it to get grocery.
And this, right here, is the huge difference. The conventional way focuses on the what, the numbers, the P&L. But this reflective approach we're talking about, it focuses on the why, your mindset, your emotions. The goal totally shifts from just tweaking a strategy to gaining some real deep self-awareness. One gives you stats, the other reveals who you are.
And that leads us right into the core idea for this entire explainer. I want you to start thinking of your journal not as a ledger, but as a mirror. So here's the deal. Every single trade you write down is like a snapshot of your state of mind in that exact moment. It captures your impatience, your fear, your greed, your discipline, or, your lack of it. It's a direct reflection of the real you, the person who's actually making the decisions, often driven by things you don't even realize are there.
This is such a powerful way to look at it, isn't it? It's about changing the frame from homework to a luxury, an act of self-care even. This is you taking the time to understand your own mind, which, let's be honest, is the single most valuable asset you have in the markets, period.
So let's get really specific here. Look at what this mirror can actually show you. That habit of overtrading, it might not be a strategy problem at all. It could just be reflecting a lack of patience you have in other parts of your life. Or what about constantly cutting your winners short? Well, maybe that's a deeper fear of actually being successful. And holding on to losers for way, way too long, that often points to a real difficulty in letting go of mistakes, both in the market and outside of it.
And look, this isn't some new agey psychological theory. The greatest traders in history knew this. They understood this deep connection between their inner world and their bank account, and their stories show us exactly what that mirror can reveal. You have to look at a guy like Jesse Livermore, one of the absolute giants of Wall Street. This guy made and lost several massive fortunes. And if you read about him, his personal notes, his reflections, they were just as important to him as his market analysis. He was always trying to understand himself.
And that's the real kicker. His journals revealed that his biggest risk wasn't some stock he bought. It was his own emotional state. After a huge win, his overconfidence would just explode, leading him to make bigger, crazier bets that would eventually, you guessed it, wipe him out. It was a pattern, a personal flaw that was reflected perfectly in his trading.
And guess what? Nothing has changed. Seriously. The technology is faster, the markets are global, but human nature, it's exactly the same. The same emotional battles that Livermore fought are the ones traders are documenting and hopefully figuring out in their journals right this very second.
Okay, now get this. This data, pulled from modern trader journals, is just fascinating. It shows that a massive chunk of trading errors are not technical, they're emotional. 40% are driven by fear, 30% by greed and chasing trades. And look at this one. A full 20% of bad trades can be linked to stuff happening outside the market, like trading aggressively right after you've had an argument. Your journal is what lets you spot these triggers before they blow you up.
So we get the concept, right? The journal is a mirror. But how do we actually do it? How do we turn a simple logbook into this powerful tool for self-reflection?
It's really not about writing more. It's about reflecting deeper. And the quality of your self-reflection comes down to one thing: the quality of the questions you're asking yourself. You can start with these 3. They're simple, but man, they are powerful. First, motivation. Ask yourself, what did I really take this trade? Was it part of my solid plan, or was I just bored and wanted some action? Then, emotion. What was I actually feeling before, during, and after? Was I anxious, excited, angry? And finally, the big one, reflection. If this one trade was a mirror, what did it just show me about myself, about my patience or greed or fear?
And that is the fundamental shift in your mindset. When you do your weekly review, stop staring at the P&L column. That's the least interesting part. Instead, look for patterns in your behavior, in your emotions, in your decision-making. That's where the real edge is. Which brings us to the ultimate payoff for all of this work. Because this isn't just about trying to make more money. It's about gaining something so much more valuable.
I mean, just think about it. In a world of constant noise, flashing screens, and a million different opinions, the ability to have a calm, clear, focused mind, that is the ultimate edge. It's the one thing you actually have control over when everything else feels like complete chaos.
And that clarity, the kind that's born from disciplined self-reflection in your journal, that is what leads to self-mastery. It's that quiet confidence that comes from knowing not just the market, but knowing yourself. That is the real luxury in this business.
So I'm going to leave you with this last thought. Your portfolio, it's temporary. It changes with every tick of the market. But who you are, your discipline, your patience, your self-awareness, that's the thing you bring to every single decision you ever make. And your journal is the only tool that can truly show you that.